Hey, thanks for coming to hang out. I'm Dargy, and this is my Ironman Dargy build. I've been playing them for about 10 years now. They're maxed and they've got the completionist cape, as well as various other different combat achievements as well. The most recent and notable achievements that I've done, as you saw, was the hard combat achievement tier, as well as completing the Raziel log, which I feel like opens up a lot of the game for me. This series will just be a lot about what I've been doing in my spare time during Runescape. I've got a full-time job, so it's not always easy to upkeep the account. On screen you can see some stats for my account, and these videos will be split into 3 different sections. So we'll have combat sections, the trim completionist cape grind, and then also just some miscellaneous things I've been doing. So without further ado, here are some clear objectives for the account, as well as some things I've been doing this month. So as you can see by these graphics here, these are my gear goals for the account. The things that are highlighted are what I have, and the things that are grayed out are the things that I want. So you can see my magic, melee and range setups are lacking, whereas my necromancy gear is really good. Magic is probably going to be the gear set that I grind for next. I'm really looking forward to making the Masterwork staff, the fractured staff of Armadil, and the elite tectonic set as well. To start with, I'm going to be leaning on necromancy a lot to try and upgrade these other sets as well. I'm by no means an experienced PVMer, and I've got a lot to learn in terms of rotations for the other 3 styles. And as you can see, I've got the full book from Zuck there, but I'm not really too fussed which book it is. I just need a bigger selection of them. I've only got the Wen book at the moment. So as I mentioned, another thing I want to achieve on this account is the trim completionist cape. I've got some things on here which are pretty easy to do and just take time, and then there's other things that I need to dedicate a grind for. You'll see later on some of the progress I've made on these things, but I'm really excited to learn Talos. I'm 0 out of 3 on the jail cell keys from Osseous, and I'm doing the champion scroll grind as well. Some of these ones are passive, such as the rank 1 esteem from the Runespan. I'm just getting those through merchants really, or maybe doing 1 or 2,000 points a week. And I'll likely leave the Master Quest cape grind for last. I'm not really sure what that entails, but I know it's a fairly big grind. To start us off on what I've been doing boss-wise this month, I've been learning a lot of hard mode Kirapak solo. Nothing to show for it really as of yet, but hoping for the fractured staff pieces obviously, greater concentrated blast, the jazz book, and then cannonballs will be great for my champion scroll grind. This is actually post nerf though, so the cannonball drops are slightly reduced, but that's okay. I'm absolutely not proficient at this boss by any means either. I tend to struggle on this final phase here, but luckily I've got enough DPS to kind of get me through. As you saw at the start, I did manage to actually get the Grandmaster achievement for Perfect Kirapak, which was a bit of a surprise to me. It was almost by accident really, I was just trying to practice the mechanics, and it's my first Grandmaster achievement on the account, which is awesome. Raksha is another boss that I'm learning. It's got some pretty crucial drops in there. I've only done about sub 100 kills, but I'm slowly getting the hang of it. I've definitely not mastered this boss at all. I'm pretty lucky that I can kind of just soul split through the mechanics, but I did manage to get a few of the combat achievements here. Still got plenty to go, like these Master and Grandmaster ones. But I did manage to do the 2:45 speed timer one, which was great. And I did manage to get the flow stat achievement, which is correctly praying against each of Rush's attacks. I wasn't really sure how to do this one, but I prayed melee and then switched to range or magic every time he attacked, and that seemed to work. So on to Elite Dungeon 2, the Dragonkin Laboratory. I need 840 of the Draconic Energy for Elite Tectonic, so I'm slowly doing it when I can. I'm really not sure how to do the flight skip, so if anyone's got any tips for that, those would be greatly appreciated. I also got a 40 energy drop as well, which is the most I've ever had. So another boss that I've been trying to do a lot and get some practice in at is Glacur. I've done about 900 kills of various enrage, up to 1600% and 109 kill streak, but given that I need both the streak and enrage combat achievements as well as 2 cores, it's time to push it. A lot of what I struggle with at Glacur is not actually the mechanics, but mostly just consistency, especially with that 200 kill streak, so I need a lot of practice. So I did a few Reapers for Glacur and the Slayer task as well, and that got me about 200%. So here we go. So unfortunately I didn't notice the system update timer, and I just started this next kill going super well. I had a streak of about, was it 5 or 6? But yeah, as you're going to see in the next sort of 20 seconds or so, I'm going to lose that streak. Ultimately the goal here wasn't actually to have a big long streak, but to push the enrage, so I'm happy with the progress I've made. Ultimately, I'll come back and do a 200 kill streak from 0% and push all the way out to 3,000 and 4,000 doing this process as well. So on to some other combat achievements now. So Double Fury and I, we got the defeat Zima Regal without killing Vorkath achievement, which wasn't too bad in normal mode. It was just a whole bunch of eating and ticking down Zima Regal while tanking Vorkath's abilities. I actually got an occultist ring drop from Osseous as well, so after about 600 or so KC, that was my first one. And then on a separate trip I got another occultist ring. So 2 occultist ring and a completed spear now. I'm still holding out for those 3 jail cell keys, but that's okay, it's pretty AFK. So as I said at the beginning, on a different note, the Masterwork staff is something that I'm super interested in building. As you saw, I already got a seismic wand and I had a seismic singularity as well, and those were the last things I need to make it. For those of you who don't know, the Masterwork weapons, the Masterwork staff, bow and sword, are alternative in-game weapons that you can make with skilling. They still require you to break down in-game gear though, so for the Masterwork staff you need to break down 2 Virago weapons, 2 Nex magic weapons, and 2 attuned crystal weapons. Luckily, I pretty much had everything I needed apart from those Virago drops, so it was time to get going. And if you haven't done a Masterwork weapon or armor grind, it does take a long time, so this grind probably took about 6 or 7 hours, I would say. I do really enjoy the process of getting all the pieces and making them one by one. It's extremely satisfying to see it all come together. So sit back and live vicariously through me as I grind through this process and eventually make the Masterwork staff. To be honest, most of the creation process was actually just standing around and chiseling little crystals like this. If you've got most of the stuff to start with, that's most of the battle won. And because it was predominantly AFK, I could cook dinner whilst doing it. I do remember a lot of the process was visiting rune altars though, that was a bit of a pain. So I actually thought I had 2 attuned weapon seeds, but turns out I only had 1. So I had to go and grind some elves. The attuned weapon seed is 1 in 2,500 from elves, so I got grinding. It took me about 2 or 3 hours I would say, but we eventually got the drop and so time to move on. You actually get some outrageously good supplies from these elves. I completely forgot, I haven't done a Slayer task there in a while. So after all that, we've got all the 5 pieces that we need, so we just need to spend half an hour to put it all together. And then, finally, we're done. We've made the Masterwork staff. I'm so happy with it. It's one of the most beautiful weapons in the game. I'm obsessed with the passive and I need to get some good perks for it, but for now I'll put some placeholder ones on it. I don't think I have quite enough components to make the ones I want. So here I am making up those placeholder perks. I've got a P6R1 and an E4R2. So those will do for now until I can find some better perks. And I honestly just wanted to show it off. It's so pretty. I think they've done an amazing job with this staff and I'm super excited to try it out. I anticipate its best use will probably be for the AFK grinds or Slayer scenarios, but we'll see. And that's one of the items ticked off the magic gear list. So on to trim completionist stuff now. One of the things that I've been trying to do when I can have time for AFK is the runespan points. As I said, I'm doing most of them through merchants, but I'm also doing 1,000 or 2,000 a week through just normal runespan. I'm currently at 77,000 and climbing, so it's just a passive achievement. I think I'm going to be completing it sooner or later. And so many of my trim comp achievements are like this. They're just sort of passive. I'm doing it a little bit week by week and all of a sudden I'm going to be completing a few. So just stay tuned for that. Onto my Slayer souls in the codex now. So as you can see, I've got 75 out of 170 and I'm just trying to do a few when I can. As I said at the beginning, it is mostly hamstrung by the amount of Ushapti I can afford, so I do just need to do a lot more Slayer. But I did about 7 or 8 this week, so here's the ones I did do. And then finally just adding them to the chest. I've been working on the 2 different statues for Trim Completionist, so there's the statue of Damarok, this one here, and then there's the statue of Rhiannon as well. So I've done 22 out of 30 for the statue of Damarok, and then 22 out of 32 for the statue of Rhiannon. Again, it's just something I'm doing passively. I try and complete it every week if I can, but it's not a requirement. So this is my champion scroll grind setup. I've got my Aldak coil, I've got aggro pots, I've got a whole bunch of cannonballs, although I have run out now, and I got 6 out of 15, so slowly getting there. Yeah, got a lot of chiropractic grind for the cannonballs before I start this grind up again. I've got 3 out of 4 for the Wisdom of Anima achievement for Trim Comp as well. I'm just missing the Zuck ones, so I need to do a whole lot more Zuck, but I haven't really done it since I got my cape, so I'll need to relearn that at some point. No immediate plans, but maybe next month. I basically consider this achievement done, considering that I will have to do some Zuck achievements for the Elite Combat tier anyway, so it's just a matter of time. And then just onto some miscellaneous things I've been doing this month. Here I am being a good Ironman, doing some rune crafting training with my Impure Essence. So I ran out of necromancy runes, so just doing a whole bunch of upkeep of that. Usually 2 or 3 hours will get me a whole bunch of runes that'll last me a month or 2. but it's pretty active, so it's not my favourite thing to do in the world. The clicking is pretty intensive. You can see here my routine going back and forth with the passing bracelet to the altars, but yeah, it's okay. Gotta be done. And then similarly, I've got to upkeep my ectoplasm as well. So I had about 30,000 when I completed my ritual grind back when I maxed the skill, but that slowly whittled away and I was down to about 2k, so time to stock that back up. And when I have time, I'm just doing some supplementary farm runs, so you can see in my inventory there the type of things that I'm farming. I've got 200ml farming and 200ml herb lore, so it's mostly just for potion upkeep more than it is for training. And the endless need for fortunate components never stops, so I did some clues. I'm after as many as I can get of the Soul and Reaper ornament kits for my Essence of Finality ornament kit, and I did manage to get this Soul Amulet ornament kit here. And I actually got a Reaper ornament kit as well from this opening, so I have my first complete Essence of Finality ornament kit, which is super exciting. I've definitely got to open more master clues in the future, but for now this is a great start. So I'd call that a success, an Essence of Finality ornament kit for my necromancy gear, and it looks great. All that's left really is the Shard of Genesis for my weapons and a good book. So something else that I'm grinding as well, it's completely unnecessary, but the Skekker's Hypno Wand. I love skilling and I love Big Game Hunter as well. I've done a lot. I've done about 1,500 or so. I've completed the ranch out of time, and I do have the Terraswarm Wall as well, which is really cool on an Ironman. But the Skekker's Hypno Wand piece from Big Game Hunter is 1 out of 200. I did actually manage to get a piece too, but it was the wrong piece, which is super unfortunate. That's only a 30% chance to get a piece that's not from the activity you're doing. And one of my favourite AFK activities as well is down here in the Lumbridge Catacombs. I've got Coroming on my staff, and then I've got aggression potions because I've run out of cannonballs from my champion scroll grind. And you sit here and it's completely AFK to do some scavenging farming. I recommend giving it a go, it's super chill. And then similarly, I've got a setup for Ascension creatures. So I've got about 800 keys after the update where they merged all the keys together. But I did a big bulk of my grind before they did that, and I actually have completed all the crossbow pieces that I needed. So this is not really necessary, but it's just another AFK activity I like to do. And that's most of the things I've been doing this month. Very keen to do some more combat achievement next month, but just balancing my gameplay with work at the moment, which is why these AFK grinds are super important. So as we move towards the Masket release, which is next week at the time of recording this, let's have a look at the gear setup that I have. As I said, I've made some good progress on the magic gear, but slow and steady for that, so Necromancy I'm hoping is going to be viable at the Masket release and I can use that. I'm not super confident I'm going to get a kill pretty early on, but depends on the group, and yeah, just super excited to try it really. So next month I'll be back and hopefully I'll have some Masket content to share with you.